拉我一把，我把3盘，拉我一把，哎。
There are also pyramids in Illinois. On purpose, you don't know this.
So I've seen these videos where there's pyramids in other places. And I mean, this is in Montana.
Oh, Alright, you ain't ready for this.
There you go. You better grab your snacks because today we have a wild video. All types of mysterious TikToks that no one can explain. Hit that like and subscribe button and let's dive in. Guys, explain this one. Look at how the cloud is like bouncing off like the atmosphere or whatever. It's like the cloud is under another cloud or haze. Does that look natural to you guys? What would cause that? Like something took off and left a trail. Interesting. I don't know what it is. Why don't they tell anyone about these pyramids in America? Take a look at this.
I'll do a full circle of this whole pyramid. Why the heck did they leave the nubs? Look at that.
Wow, this is in America? There's no way.
Most of the pyramid is still under dirt. Like, how many thousands of years did it take for all that dirt to build up on a pyramid? There's trees growing off the side of it. This is steep as hell. I'll do a full circle of this whole...
Wow, someone in the comments said, in my hometown, Lake Mills, Wisconsin, they have all types of pyramids inside the lake. Everyone who crosses this Chinese glass bridge immediately regrets it. What'd he say? Look at his knees. Who talked this man into doing this, man? That last dude's a riot. But my man right here was terrified. I can't get over that. He was petrified. You know how people talk you into doing stuff you really don't want to do? What's it called? Peer pressure? Who peer pressured my man here? What's that even mean? All right. Someone.
I'm here.
All right. What does this mean in Chinese? 猫
尾巴在中文里就是猫的尾巴，猫是猫咪，尾巴就是动物身体后面的那条。
No, don't speak Chinese to me. I'm trying to figure out what it means. What does 猫尾巴 mean in Chinese?
No problem. 猫尾巴 is simply cat tail in Chinese. 猫 means cat, and 尾巴 is just a playful way of referring to a tail. Simple yet...
No, that's not what he said. He's crossing a glass bridge, and he started yelling, 猫尾巴. What does that mean?
Got it. In that context, it's likely a playful exclamation. It doesn't have a standard meaning. He's probably just reacting to the thrill. Imagine yelling something like, whoa, cattail. Just a fun, spontaneous
That's
shout.
not it. I can't stand you. You really don't be listening to what I be telling you.
I'm sorry if I missed the mark there. I want to understand.
Oh my God. Where's a translator when you need it?
我把松二拉我一把，哎，
Why does Cahokia Mounds sound so familiar?
Did you know that there are more pyramids in the Americas than there are in Africa? I'm currently standing in front of what is now known as Cahokia Mounds in Collinsville, Illinois, one of history's biggest mysteries.
Geoarchaeological studies of so-called mounds in North America proves that these aren't just piles of dirt. These were carefully engineered.
Cahokia was once one of the biggest cities in the world and home to one of the largest pyramids in so-called North America, known as Monk's Mound, which stands 100 feet tall. It had 4 terraces and covered 17 acres at its base. At its base, this pyramid is bigger than the Great Pyramid of Giza. A lot of people don't realize that many of the pyramids in the Americas have intentionally been destroyed and manipulated to make them seem like they don't compare in size to the pyramids in Africa.
They want you to think that this is just landscaping and piles of dirt, but I want to point out how easy it is to plant grass. All it takes is preparation and consistent care.
Cahokia grew from a small settlement to a booming city that stood right in the center of Mississippian culture. Cahokia thrived from 700 to 1400. The city reached its peak around the 1100s when it covered over 4,000 acres of land with a population of 10 to 20,000 people. It was spread out over 6 miles and larger than many European cities, including London. It also contained over 120 pyramids that ranged in size and were used for burials, spiritual ceremonies, important public buildings, and homes for the ruling class. Cahokia sits right across from the Mississippi River, which has striking similarities to the Nile River. The city was named after the Cahokia people who moved into the area during the 17th century, but according to the Oklahoma Historical Society, they are not related to its original inhabitants.
Pyramids are our people's global footprints. This is proof that they can't erase us.
Institutional sources say the city declined because it was abandoned. But critical thinkers know there was a significant amount of pillaging and looting taking place during the 1400s. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section if you were aware of these facts.
Alright guys, what you see on the top is the Cahokia Mounds. Cahokia Mounds, forgive me. And on the bottom is the Teotihuacan in Mexico. And you can see the similarities. It makes you ask the question is, why did they just put steps there and they just made it look like a normal hill? How come they didn't actually, you know, take off the grass, show the architecture and everything? Like, why try to hide it is my question.
This is Pyramid Lake in Nevada. And this is what it looks like. To me, clearly looks like a base right here and a very clear pyramid, a melted structure. There's a couple more. There's 3 of these pyramid-shaped structures in Pyramid Lake, Nevada. This is one of the big ones right there. You see it. Just very much clearly looks like a whole melted ruins. Just look at the different kind of meltings of these rocks along the shoreline here of the lake. And I believe if you look at this picture, this is the first interpretation right here that was published. I showed you guys this photo yesterday. The depiction of the Pyramid Lake when the first settlers or the first founders arrived on the scene. And but I believe there's, 3 pyramids and one completely destroyed one in the back. So this was the one that I wanted to show you guys yesterday that I could not find in my stack. So look at that charring there. Looks very melted, very scorched, does it not? Absolutely, absolutely. Another melted ruin of our melted past. One of the many resets of this realm that reshaped the nature of it.
There are also pyramids in Illinois. On purpose, you don't know this. The Native Americans built them in a place that had no native stone. So when they built the foundation, it is stone. They had to import the stone from hundreds of kilometers away. And then they figured out the right mixture of clay, sand, and silt to basically make erosion-proof dirt. And they built these pyramids using this high-tech mixture of clay, sand, and silt, and they're still there. Well, some of them are. The biggest one is in a place called Cahokia. It's right across the Mississippi River from St. Louis, Missouri. When you go there, you'll hear Chinese spoken, you'll hear Japanese spoken, you'll hear German and French spoken, because all the tourists are from somewhere else. You hardly hear any English because Americans don't even know it exists. There are also pyramids in Illinois. On purpose, you don't know.
Cahokia Mounds. It's a big deal. That's an entire Teotihuacan from Mexico, but in America, low-key, it's just covered in grass. How cool would it be if we jumped and heard on the news, oh, new Cahokia Mounds restoration project. We're taking away all the grass. We're going to do LiDAR scans. We're going to show you all the intricate details within it. We got a couple more, man. I love this. Is America really Egypt? Check out this one in Montana.
So I've seen these videos where there's pyramids in other places. And I mean, this is in Montana, out by Tarkio. They call it Round Mountain, but it looks pretty pyramid-like. So I've seen these videos where there's...
And here's another one in Utah. You be the judge. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep it going on these mysterious TikToks that no one can explain. If you're enjoying this, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps the channel out. It helps us grow. The best way you can support this channel.
Oh shit. Alright, you ain't ready for this. Hold on. Notice how it's from 1887? Yep. Yep. American Antiquities and Discoveries in the West by Josiah Priest from 1835. Now, me personally, this is gonna have to stay in the library, so we're just gonna come right over here. There we go. Just so people know. You ready for this one? We think we should start the convolution of the globe, which separated America from the two continents east and west of it, and of the removal of large islands. Nope, we're going to start with the traits of ancient cities of the Mississippi. Nearly opposite St. Louis, there are traces of two ancient cities in the distance of a few miles situated in the Cahokia Creek, which empties into the Mississippi. But a short distance below that place, here is situated one of those pyramids, which is 150 rods in circumference at its base, nearly half a mile and 100 feet high. At St. Louis is one with two stages or landing places. As the architectural phrase is, there is another with three stages at the mouth of the Missouri, a few miles above St. Louis. With respect to the stages or landing places of these pyramids, we are reminded of the tower once standing in Old Babylon, which had 8 stages from its base to the summit, making it 600 feet high. At the mouth of the Cahokia Creek, a short distance below St. Louis, are two groups of those mounds of similar size, but we are not informed of their exact number. Baton Rouge are several mounds, of which is composed chiefly of shells, which the inhabitants burn into lime. There is a mound on the Black River, which has 2 stages or stories that is surrounded with a group of lesser ones, as well as the Bayou Baton Rouge. There is one of those pyramids near Washington in the state of Mississippi, which is 140 feet high, which is a little short of 9 rods perpendicular elevation and 56 rods in circumference. Mr. Breckenridge is one of the opinion of the largest city belonging to this people, and the authors of the mounds and other works was situated on the plains between St. Francis and the Arkansas.
56 rods in circumference is very specific.
There is no doubt in the neighborhood of St. Louis must have been cities of large towns of these ancient people, and the number and size of the mounds above recounted would most certainly justify. 15 miles in a southwesterly direction from the town of St. Louis on the Merrimack River, was discovered by Mr. Long on lands which he had purchased there. Several mounds of the ordinary size as found in the valley of the Mississippi, all of which go to establish that this country, lying between the Missouri and the Mississippi rivers below St. Louis and between junction of Illinois and the Mississippi above, with the whole region about union of those rivers which with each other, which are all not far from St. Louis, was once the seat of empire, equal, if not surpassing, the population and arts, as once they flourished on the plains of Shinar, the seat of Chaldean power, and on the banks of the Euphrates. Should we read about the original Mexicans?
Now, I don't know how true it is, but a lot of people say the Mississippi was actually the Nile. When you start looking at all the pyramids and mounds near the area, questions start to arise. Now, this is allegedly along the Mississippi River, these pyramids. Could this be describing what he was just talking about?
This is amazing. Look at this. Beautiful. This is amazing. Look at this. That's wild. When I say beautiful, this is beautiful. The all-seeing eye. This is some type of altar, people. Look at that. That's crazy. Roll the corn. Beautiful.
If that's not natural, I don't know what
This
is.
man got to be.
Look at that. That's not natural. A mound? Why are they covering it up with grass and keeping it so well preserved? You know? Dig it up. Show us what it actually is.
That's crazy. Pyramid, people. You don't understand how big this is. That's crazy.
It's like they're maintaining it on purpose. They're like, look, keep the grass growing over there. Keep the lawn looking nice. But whatever you do, do not let them know what's under it. Look at those skies, though. How nice is that? Alabama, y'all got some nice skies, man. I don't see a trail in sight.
We know the truth now.
Imagine this is your last resting place. The only thing that's missing is the green pastures, but I love it. It's beautiful. This has to be Texas because of the plains. You can get lost out there quick on horse if you don't know where you're going. But look at those skies is what's the impressive part. Again, no trail in sight, you know? When I go outside, it looked like a air show that happened in the sky. You know what I'm saying? These clear skies is amazing to me.
All right, check this out. We had major snail damage happening. And I put the copper on, and whammo, they can't pass, baby. Copper is effective. Whole band of snails around that thing. You can take off and feed to the ducks.
I wonder if I could put copper on the edge of like my kale stalk, and maybe it will stop the hornworms, or maybe they might go over it. I don't know. But this is huge.
So, copper is effective. Another band over here, just one snail, but effective. No more snails on the tree, and we're looking good, baby. Let's go. IPM. All right, check this out.
So this is where I currently live at in China, and if you want a 4-bedroom condo on the highest floor, you can pay $500 a month. So hold on, I want to show y'all something real quick. So you can get 3 of these oranges right here. Look at the size of these sweet potatoes. Everything is organic. 5.9 RMB. I think this is okra, 4 RMB. Cucumbers, 2 carrots, 2 RMB. Organic. This is organic. Ginger, 3 RMB. Grass-fed beef, 35 RMB.
Wow, that beef looks fresh, doesn't it? Only $5 for that? They gonna want like 15 in America.
So this is where I currently live.
That 500 skyrise, man, that'll be at least 3,000 in America. Top comment says people don't realize capitalism kills a society.
Know that this is granite, very hard rock. But it's not just that they could do it. It's perfect precision in the mere mass of everything that they did do. And this is just a random Wisconsin town. Why would they build this in Wisconsin? Despite it being, a couple hours from Chicago. Why this? Know that this is granite, very hard rock.
That's all we got for today's video. The code word is Maui Wa.
I'm here fully tuned in.
Okay, listen to him. He about to hit it. Maui Wa. You was too busy talking. You couldn't hear it.
You're absolutely right. Sometimes silence is golden. I'm all ears now. So if you want to describe what he's feeling or doing, I'm ready to piece it together with you. I can't literally hear the audio, but I'm right here to decode it with you.
Oh my God. No, you're not.
I really do want to help, even if I can't hear the exact clip.